Hello, we are going live. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a live stream going out March 23rd at 12 noon. If this is working for you, please let us know in the comments or the chat. And I need to find my echo, excuse me. Oh no. I have a million windows open, so please bear with me here. So yeah, like I said, I guess if this is working for you, please let us know in the chat room. There are, how about I try this? Welcome. This is the TattooNOW show. And we have a guest coming up. He's awesome. He's Gene Coffey, and he's great, I guess, abstract artist style, watercolor style. You'll see for yourself his work if you haven't seen it before. You could do a search for Gene Coffey. His website is gmcoffey, COFFEY.com if you want to look it up. I'm going to introduce you to the Reinventing the Tattoo platform. And if, like I said, if this is echoing for you, please let me know. I am going to try to find, I do need to do a little bit of teching to find out where it's echoing from for me. But in any event, welcome. This is Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are all encouraged to join into these live streams, the real world events, to share, inspire, and ultimately to create better art and tattoos together. We're beaming out nearly every day, and with your help have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that have been, well, receiving raving reviews. You're watching the TattooNOW show, which happens noon every Wednesday. This is noon Eastern Standard Time. And you can find the whole reinventing caboodle at either of the app stores. Do a search in either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store for Reinventing the Tattoo, or beaming in live from YouTube or Facebook. YouTube's the Reinventing the Tattoo channel, and Facebook goes out on, I think it's the tattoos.com, Facebook and Gabe Ripley. You might be catching the replays on the Roku channel, which is pretty awesome. We're very excited. There's like over a dozen channels going on replay at any given time, all of your favorite shows. If you go to reinventingthetattoo.com/Roku, or just do a search on Roku for Reinventing the Tattoo. Also, this goes out as a podcast in all of the usual places. That is Apple, Spotify, etc. Again, please just do a search. But you could always get the latest event schedules, notifications if you don't want to miss these shows or beam into the drawing groups. You can watch replays 24/7 if you're not sure what to watch at 2 o'clock in the morning, or you want to recommend the Reinventing Network to your friends. Just go to reinventingthetattoo.com and you will always find the latest and greatest links to everything officially Reinventing the Tattoo. If you are a tattooer or an apprentice, you'll also find in the corner there a link that says goals. What are your goals? And if you fill out the form, then you will have a custom tailored email sequence for you to help you with your goals. What else we have here for you? Weekly staples for the network. We have Reinventing Drawing Group every 1 o'clock on Sundays at 1 o'clock Eastern with Jason Leeser. There is a Mondays at 11 o'clock. This audio is coming from one of these. Oh, you know what? Why would the audio be coming from here? Oh, I might just close that one up there to see if that helps with it. Okay, anyways, so regular shows on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network include 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoons with Jason Leeser, and Tuesdays is another drawing group at 10 a.m. with Ricardo. You could just go to the homepage of Reinventing the Tattoo, check out the events, and you will see all of the upcoming shows that happen on a regular basis there. Real world events, April 11th to the 14th is the first Inspiring Tour. The website is inspiring.tours. This one's happening at the Sam O'Reilly House in New Hampshire. And the teachers are Sean Barber and Nick Baxter, pretty amazing. And they will be doing painting seminars as well as a collaborative tattoo. If you're interested, I think it is April 13th. There's an opportunity if you're up in North Conway, New Hampshire, to get a collaborative tattoo from Nick Baxter and Sean Barber. It's going to be pretty amazing. Anyways, inspiring.tours to get on the wait list. These are very small art retreats for 5 to 10 people. If you're beaming in and you're watching this live, please let me know if this is working for you in the chat room, and where you're beaming in from. It'll be yeah, that'd be cool. Tag any tattooers that you might know. May 20th to the 22nd, Hell City, Columbus, Ohio, hellcity.com. There'll be a full reinventing room there, as well as a full seminar room. June 10th to the 12th is Ink Mania, and that's inkmaniaexpo.com. And in St. Pete, Florida, Phil Holt and Stefano will be teaching in person, and then Guy will be beaming in to do a panel exercise with those guys for the artists that are taking the Sunday class, and then a whole bunch of collaborative artwork up on the stage. That's June 10th to the 12th, Ink Mania Expo. July 29th to the 31st, the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational in Akron, Ohio, with Tony Urbanic. And yeah, there's a lot more coming. You want to keep checking the schedules, get on the mailing lists. It seems like live events are happening again. I know there's a Hell City in Arizona and whatnot. Let's see, upcoming professional development and on-demand, and both on-demand professional development could always be found at Reinventing the Tattoo. Click on courses. Definitely want to register if you're an artist or an apprentice for Reinventing the Tattoo. Guy Aitchison is, well, the founder. I'll talk a little bit more about him later. But yeah, the paid subscribers to Reinventing really are the beating heart of the Reinventing the Tattoo community. We also have awesome courses. Nick Baxter has a course up there. Bob Tellrell has a couple. BJ Betts, Andre Malcolm, as well as a business course. Rawpigments.co, acrylic-free pigments that won't dry out in the cup. Rawpigments.co, worldtattooevents.com, the most comprehensive resource for tattooing events worldwide. And Alex is busy updating all of the events that are happening now. He also has a lot of cool interviews. Do a search for the history of tattoo conventions or the future of tattoo conventions. Dermalize Worldwide is a healing wrap. It's designed specifically to heal tattoos. If you're still using saran wrap, just yeah, remember that stuff is designed specifically not to breathe. And stuff like Dermalize is, so you can check it out. Delize Pro, do a search again online for videos. TattooNOW, I do technology for tattooers. And I also produce the technology for Reinventing the Tattoo and produce these shows. And actually today, I'll be behind the camera interviewing this awesome Gene. He's amazing. He is in the waiting room. So let me just thank, last but certainly not least in this case first, Guy Aitchison, GuyAitchison.com. He's the founder and an inspiration of Reinventing the Tattoo. He has also got a ton of products, as well as the courses. He's got his massive biomech encyclopedia. I have it around here. He's got paintings for sale like this. He's got DVDs, tattoo machines, prints. Awesome. He's amazing. GuyAitchison.com. Thank you for helping us all inspire each other. Okay, I'm going to move some stuff around here and bring Gene in. If you would like to sponsor Reinventing the Tattoo or have us co-host or an event at your place, management@reinventingthetattoo.com, or constructive criticism, management Reinventing the Tattoo. But please, the positive comments in all of the review places that you can. And okay, so instead of hopping off in the background, I'm going to welcome Gene Coffey. And I sent him over a mega script today. Hey, Gene.
Hey, man, how are you?
Fantastic. It's working for you. I was going through a little bit of echo panic. I don't know if you've caught the intro,
No.
but I went into this with a million windows open, knowing that I should have trimmed them down and restarted my computer. But I was like, it's too. I need to just go with it. And then as soon as about 4 seconds into starting the intro, I was hearing myself talk, and then I had to find the window. But how are you? So I'm a little frazzled, but I think we got through it. And so far, so good. Other than that, I
Your
found
beard is going nuts there, huh?
Well, my beard?
Yeah, it's really there.
Yeah, it's been a couple a yearish or so.
Yeah,
It's springtime up here though. I mean, I guess you're in the city, right? You're in Brooklyn?
yeah, it's sort of
Yeah.
spring
So,
now. It doesn't
I
get in your mouth,
oh
but
yeah, 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 oh yeah. Well, a little bit. What I realize when I shave is that I mean this might be too much information for tattoo TV, but I just launch stuff in the general direction of my face, and I think I get about 3/4 of it to 80% of it in.
yeah.
But evidently, there we go. But
Mhm.
well, thanks again for joining us. We had
Yeah,
a pretty
for
cool
having me.
interview a couple weeks ago in the Tattoo Weekly. We'll link to it here so people can beam back in there. But let's see, let's just go with a straight up intro to start with.
Okay.
Um,
Can you
for the
hear me?
people,
It's okay.
I can hear
Oh,
you perfectly.
okay, great.
Yeah. I'm gonna feature you. Do you want to look right into the camera? Let everybody know all your vital information and how they could find you, and then I'm gonna start firing up some tattoos.
Gene Coffey. I'm in Queens, New York, and Long Island City. I because I specialize in watercolor tattoos and sort of graphic style stuff. Uh, Known Gabe for a while through the Paradise Tattoo Gathering a while back, and a big supporter of everything that you guys do. Um, yeah,
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That was lifetimes ago, right?
it was
Um,
like 3 lifetimes ago, I feel like at this point.
right. I've got some tattoos fired up here, so let's give people a little bit of a tour
Hmm.
as we get started. And you identified. Ooh, is this still showing up for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna plop here, and then I just want to make sure here. I'm playing tech at the same time, so uh, bear with me here. Okay. So let's give people a little bit of a tour of some of your tattoos, and then we'll hop into some of the topics that we talked about. But
Okay.
this looks like this is from somebody from your neck of the woods.
She actually, I believe this lady came down from Canada uh, and got it.
Ah,
So yeah.
I spoke too soon, but certainly it's very. So is this is a New York City? Is Queens Boulevard from?
Oh wait, I'm seeing a different image actually. I s-
Yes, that's
yeah,
what
I'm
I thought
seeing
here.
the
Let me.
yeah, I
Sorry,
see
let me.
the magnolia flowers as well.
Aha! I thought that there was a techie thing happening here.
Yeah, if it's the Queens Boulevard one, yeah, that would be from Queens. That would be very weird.
I was like,
Someone
well,
I live
people
in Canada,
identify
but
differently.
I get
But
this tattoo or Queens. Yes, that was the one.
yeah, I wanted to start off here up at the top.
Sure.
But awesome. Okay, so yeah, so you're in New York City. The spirit of the city, I imagine, is strong in this one.
Yeah. I mean, Queens centric. Uh, yeah, you have the globe behind it, which is in the was it the World's Fair that was in Queens, and then this is the Queensboro Bridge, which I can literally see from the roof of my shop here. So that was pretty cool to do this one. It was very. I have lived in Queens since '94,
Okay,
so that's fun.
awesome. And yeah, I think I remember when we met. I don't know if you were at Tattoo Culture then, or
Yeah, I was
maybe just
still
you're,
there.
or you're definitely still there. I don't know if it may have been before then. I don't recall the previous timeline that we talked about, but I do remember you talking about how you had some. Well, I don't know if the word was mentor, but certainly some strong influences from like Noon and from some of the other
Mhm.
artists.
Yeah.
You want to care to talk a little bit about some of the impact that they had on your tattoo career,
Oh yeah,
your
sure.
tattoo style?
Uh, I mean, well, stylistically, uh, I mean, we're still very different. Like Noon stuff, my stuff, we're all found our own sort of notches. But uh, I was lucky enough to be exposed to a lot of guest artists that were coming in from Europe when I was still apprenticing, and they were doing all these really eclectic and bizarre styles that like no one was really doing here. And this is like, I mean, this is the days of I don't. I'm pretty sure it was still Facebook, but I don't know if there was a MySpace was trickling to its end at that point too, or if it was just straight up Facebook. But like it was nowhere to be found anywhere on the internet. So
Sure.
uh, it definitely opened my eyes to what a tattoo could be. Like everything I'd seen gotten done, done to people at that point had been very traditional. And these
Sure.
guys were just doing some like wild shit, and then turning me on to other guys that I had never seen that were doing stuff,
Who are some of those guys? Or
like
some of those artists?
Loic, fuck, now you're putting on the spot. Jan, geez. Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah,
spot.
no, it's fun.
Oh,
I love now. A lot
Jeff.
of this was it coming out of Europe? Was it almost all out of
They were
Europe?
all Europeans. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know anybody in the US that had started doing it until, around that same time as it started. I mean, I feel like that's sort of how the style sort of traveled, right? Like it starts in Europe and then it sort of hit East Coast, and now you see it sort of hitting West Coast, and now, it becomes global.
Sure. No, well,
yeah.
and now styles have an easier opportunity to do that, whereas it used to travel around a lot slower before, and now we're seeing a lot of the mashup, styles too. Just real quick, let me hop on the chat room here. People are hopping on here. Neil Foster says hi. Hi, Neil. How are you? Allison Kriska says hi, everybody, or hey, everybody. Let's see, we're from Wisconsin and Alabama so far. And well, thanks for tuning in live. If you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat rooms. But yeah, well, let's explore some more of the portfolio here, and we'll go back to this rib piece. So now this was a piece that came down from Canada.
No, unless
no.
I'm seeing, this was the one with the roses and 2 lilies.
Yes, correct.
Yes,
okay.
no, it was a magnolia one's on her hip, but no, this was someone local. This was at from probably like 5 or 6 years ago, I think, because this would have been at my old shop. I can tell by the classy paper background I have with the tape. Yeah, it's very professional.
Yeah. That is a somewhat of a pet peeve of mine. But here we go. Now we can go into
classy
this,
picture. Here's a better one, right?
Now we have one with a background that's
yeah, and this is the lady from Canada. I'm pretty sure she was from Canada.
Awesome. And this stuff is great. And now I imagine at this point people are attracted to you for your style because well, I don't know how to put it, but you've been doing it for a long time. Come in.
And because I'm so pretty.
And because you're pretty, for all the reasons.
That's why people.
But like, maybe could you talk about maybe the transition, or how long did it take for you to go from tattooing everybody and everybody to what you're interested in, presuming that you're still doing it. And you could talk about your clientele now too, please.
Well, I mean, it's a slow burn to get there for sure, and it's not like it's not really an industry where you can just like rapid change your style. I don't think. I mean, as art in general, you can't. So, geez, I don't know where you start with that, but yeah, I guess Noon was like the one who like we talked about it a bit last time, where he sort of inspired me to streamline my portfolio and only put work in it that was stylistically or conceptually stuff that I wanted to do, and just eliminate everything from my portfolio that wasn't like that. So that sort of, I think that's a big step if you want to focus on your style, is to do specifically that, focus on your style, and you'll get better at it. And then in turn, you get better at it, and then people they'll gravitate to your work. I really think like my art isn't for everyone. That was, it's very clear right from the jump. Just like, Guy's work isn't for everyone. Or Jeff, you go down the list of these people who have these very specific styles and recognizable fingerprints on it, and it's not for everyone, but it is for the people that it is for.
Yeah.
Right? So
it doesn't have to be for everybody. You can't tattoo everybody.
Right. Well, I don't want to.
And you want to tattoo everybody, right?
Right. I want to tattoo my work on people that want my work. So by eliminating all of the fat off of the portfolio, you naturally gravitate towards clients. Well, clients gravitate towards you, and I've found that it's usually like-minded people. Like if you're really into like metal tattoos, like dark, evil stuff. I mean, not like you're gonna get dark, evil people, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
We find our own groove, and then the world will sort of come to you once you do that.
It is one of those crazy things, you know, you hear it a million times when you're younger, and it's like, just have patience and, you know, keep doing better. And, you know, the right opportunities will just present themselves, you know, at the right times. And we can't quite predict it, so that, you know, it's going to be this vague thing that you're going to keep hearing, you know, older people say. But then sometimes it's just like, you know, again, as we're both getting older, it's easier to look back and be like, oh man, you know, it wasn't until the right time in the right place that I actually learned that shit and got it right.
I mean, there's definitely luck of the draw, having the opportunity present itself randomly, but also like if you pursue it, it's much more likely to present itself.
Sure. Now, I imagine being in New York City has a, you know, it's a cultural melting pot. There's millions of people there. Did you feel like, you know, I guess you've also traveled, you know, well, I guess my question would be, how much do you think that your clientele supported you because you were in such a big place? Do you think that as you have traveled around, you've had
access is definitely a thing. Like if having people be able to get to you, like once you start to establish a client base, you don't want to have them like go way out of their way. So yeah, I do have people who, I think I probably had more, I don't know. Yes, I did travel a lot early on and gathered customers from out of the region, but I think that that's more from the internet than me personally going out and doing stuff. Like people find everything on the internet. I mean, I think it still astounds me when people fucking come from like another country. Blows my mind just to get like some, like I have one lady, she came from Australia. She's come 3 times to get tattoos. You know?
Sure.
And then
Yeah,
it
I
goes
do.
back, but that's fucking ridiculous. No, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, but that blows my mind. So like, I don't know. Obviously, some of my clients are a little crazy, and that might help having them travel here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you have a unique signature, you know, a unique style, then
Sure. Well, that's what I mean. If it speaks to someone, like I went to Switzerland to get work from Sabine Gaffron. You know, like I saw her work. It was probably in the Artist magazine, right? Tattoo Artist magazine.
Oh yeah.
And I was enamored with it. I loved it, right? Like, because it spoke to me. Obviously, it's because she does beautiful flowers, and I'm like, I fucking love flowers, clearly. So, but there was also, for me, when I was apprenticing, getting tattooed from the people who inspired me was very important. You know, like doing that travel as like I would say I was a collector, but I was an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get more than just the one input in my tattoos, right, from my master. And I wanted to go see these other people whose work, you know, inspired me. So I fucking saved up money for like a year, like nickels and pennies, until I could afford to go to Switzerland and just to go get a tattoo from her, you know?
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, but like that people do that for me now, it's, you know?
Sure. Well, you know, I can imagine, you know, and again, with the internet, it's, you know, the access to people all around the world is unique. It's amazing, clearly. And yeah. I do have a question in here from the chat room. Allison is in the let's see, I think this is the Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel. She asks, so Gene, do you paint watercolors? Well, wait, sorry. First she says, I love Gene's work! Exclamation point.
Thank you!
I love Gene's work. Gene, do you paint in watercolors for the tattoo prep process, or do you watercolor regularly, or what does your original art diet look like?
So honestly, mostly now it's just Procreate. But I'm kind of going back to post-COVID. I'm kind of returning to my roots of how I traditionally prepared for stuff, and it is mostly a back and forth of photoshopping stuff, printing that, painting and drawing directly onto that paper. Usually it's just on some piece of shit like printing paper, scanning that, putting it back into Photoshop, moving stuff around, tweaking stuff. Then I would grab all the black from that Photoshop thing, print just the black, print that on a slightly better paper, then paint into that. And like, but in the course of doing all of that, when I paint on it, it could be paint, it could be toothpaste, it could be ink, it could be coffee, it could be markers, it could be whatever, you know. And then the process when it comes time to the tattoo. So like one of the things that I consciously made an effort is that I can't really fuck up my tattoo. Like, you know, like there's no lines. Like if that little line right there goes a little wrong, like, oh fuck, oh, there's a splatter. But leaving it open also to that sort of on the fly interpretation.
Yeah.
Because it's not watercolor. You know, this isn't watercolor, it's tattoo.
It almost behaves exactly the opposite, right?
Yes.
Like it's not going to ever go out of control. It's like where you poke the hole is where it's going to go.
But so like sometimes though, you're washing it off, right? A little bit of that ink drips down and I'm like, oh, that looks fucking cool. And there it goes, you know?
Right.
Sometimes some of this shit is just by accident. You know, working on the design or coming to do the tattoo, I've had times where I've accidentally tattooed part of the stencil on that wasn't part of the design, you know, little artifact line or some shit like that.
Sure.
And I remember that when I did it, I freaked out, sweat, you know, I'm like, oh fuck. And but because I've sort of like trained myself to be open to this like, oh fuck moment and prepared, is that I just went with it. Is that I just said, oh well, I guess I'm gonna put more of those. And I just did more little fucking scratchy lines and it became like part of my style. But yeah, the coming up with a tattoo design, it's a lot of back and forth.
Awesome. It sounds a fair amount, well, like Thea's process, or at least some of her process, right? She has a full class on multimedia collage for tattoos.
Use a lot of collages, like actual collaging too.
Yeah, and then but then brings it into the computer for the final process for the digital design for the tattoos. So it's like it still has that organic-ish, or not organic-ish, it has that organic kind of artsy.
It's almost
emotion.
backwards. I collage it after I do the design. Like then after I print it, I'll cut that shit up, and then when I actually put it on the person, it's more of a collage. But,
fun. Yeah, that's crazy. You know, let's fire up. I did also download one of your art series.
Oh geez.
This guy.
Oh yeah, these are on the walls in here now.
Oh shit! You know what? I just moved this around again. I did the same thing. And yeah, so these are cool. So this, what was the name of this art series? I apologize for not doing my.
I don't remember what I called it. It was just all they were like these ads. I think I just called it ads. But yeah, those were like old comic book ones, and people thought they were prints, but no, they're paint. I mean, just flat black.
Awesome.
And,
yeah. No, was this for an art show, or is this so? And I guess so. A couple questions. Like, so when you're creating art like this, completely outside of the tattoo realm, are you doing it for art shows? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for your tattoo clients?
I did end up showing these here in my own space, but I mean, I think that's everybody's idea, right? Like in the back of your head, even if you say like, I'm doing it for myself, you're still doing it because you want it to be in an art show and you want the world to see it. So yeah, I'm making it for art shows. Am I showing it in those? Not so much, you know, but I don't know, man. Yeah. It's what we do. You know, I think if you're an artist, then you make art regardless of whether people buy it. So lately I've been burning things.
Oh shit.
Saw that.
You can sell the NFTs and then burn the originals.
No, fuck the NFTs. I'm just burning shit, man. Like, well, so why? So that's a good question, Gabe. It's like, so why do we make art? You know, like,
Sure.
Uh,
Why do you make art, or why do you make this type of art?
exactly. It's very deep. Like, fuck if I know, dude. Like, if I knew that, I mean, I know there's something that propels me to make art. The same as a musician is propelled to make music, and anyone is propelled to create what they want to create is propelled to do it. I don't know, fucking trauma. Who knows why? There's definitely some trauma that is involved. Want to be cool, fucking to get laid, like,
Yeah, there's clearly I guess there's as many answers as there are, also times in the day, right? Because like there's a variety of reasons why people create art. Like you were saying, just listing off, there's, in any given week, there could be a half a dozen reasons.
Yeah, I do think though it's like the disconnect to kind of touch on a little bit of my painting versus my tattoo art is that I don't usually paint what I tattoo, like stylistically, I mean, you can see, and these are a little bit older, but even the stuff I'm doing like today is still nothing like the tattoo work. I think it's because it's probably two total different vocabularies to me.
Sure. Well, and so different audiences, or no. How
I
are
don't know,
how
I mean,
far?
the only people who've ever bought my paintings are my customers. So
Sure. Well, I
same
mean,
audience.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
And now I guess what that leads me to the question. Usually I kind of save it for a little bit closer to the end, but like, how booked out are you? Are you accepting new clients?
Right now, I'm just taking it as it comes. Like I sort of like I still like a couple months out, but I'm not doing the like big announce it and then take them in a chunk anymore because I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Post COVID world, it feels a little too. It stresses me out to think about that. So I'm just sort of, not too far out now. 2 months.
Okay. So people could, this is your Instagram. It looks like you have now booking appointments, and the link here for appointments, which is perfect usability, if you ask me.
I do. Yeah. Do you guys use like forms and stuff for?
Oh yeah. Our forms are they're going to CRMs and
Now people have it where you can just book your own appointments through like their websites. Like,
we could help facilitate all that for sure. Yeah, this is pretty nuts. So like if you're doing like half days or whole days, and then you approve somebody, they put down their whatever $400 deposit, and then they get the half day appointment. This is cool. How long now for people like about how much of a commitment was this? Like a once a month for 6 months or a year and a half?
I mean, I've also tattooed both of his arms, but we started it before COVID, so we probably started in like 2019 or 18 even at this point. And there were some big breaks in there, but it was a lot of sessions. Usually like this, I don't charge. I just charge like a flat rate for the session. It's usually pretty I charge him very little for it comparatively, just because he's a good customer. I love spending time with him, and what the fuck, look at that.
Man, to have the commitment to do this, you'll do more back pieces like
I
this,
love it.
or in a
it's like the nerdiest nerd of everything. I love it.
It's sweet, man. And I like the use of it's bold to use so much negative space, to just have it's funny to be like, this is the bravest part of the whole thing, but it's like, man, to have the to do that, it looks great, and again, it wouldn't have the same impact if it wouldn't, especially like this, this part of the tree,
I really wanted it to look like it was like reaching up into the sky,
absolutely. And there's some good, the motion and stuff. No, with a design
this is
like
also
this,
very healed. Also, most of that's healed. Like the top part's probably like a couple of years even.
This is Did you create the completely original design?
Oh yeah.
Did he have any reference, or was he just like tree back?
He just wanted it. He just wanted I forget what the word of it is, but the world tree.
Oh right, okay. What do we have? Behold the birthing of worlds and the mother tree who bears them.
Really, he's such a poet. I'm such a poet.
Fun. Well, I'm gonna show off the bird here. I'm a big bird fan here.
I'm a big bird fan. This guy is from DC. Also, there's one I met him at a convention. We got like one little tattoo, and then little by little, we've done his whole arm. birds and different flowers, and
Awesome.
that's funny. Sort of, it's sort of like building sleeves like that, like little vignettes at a time,
Mhm.
and then it just sort of all comes together. Luckily, my style is pretty open ended, so
Right. Sure. And now, but are you still planning? But it sounds like you might still be planning for future tattoos when you're doing your sessions. Like if you're doing like a 1 or 2 session piece.
Some people, yeah. If I know if it's the kind of person who's probably gonna want more to it, but I don't think I'd even need to plan, like, because I don't really leave any hard edges to the end of the tattoo. Like the background is just drips and
Right.
splatters, so you can just
Sure.
fucking do that anywhere and go
Mhm.
right back into it. But I also think that that's kind of just something to keep in mind for any tattoo. Like it's not just like, it's like the person who gets a tattoo is probably the person who gets another tattoo, which is probably the person who gets another tattoo. Like if you get one, you've cracked that egg, and now you're gonna fucking get more. So like it's important, I think, to keep that in mind when designing tattoos, where you place it on someone, things like that can.
Oh, agreed wholeheartedly. I get a little brutal about that sometimes because, some tattooers are, well, I don't know, sometimes they might not want to be, getting a full sleeve. I'm like, well, not if you do your job right, they won't, they'll want a full sleeve,
Yeah.
They,
Also, like, speaking of negative space, Noon was someone who was very, really good at negative space. He really brought that home about how much what you don't tattoo is as important as what you do tattoo.
yeah, I've got him fired up here. Let me,
And he does a good job of sort of what I would say, like, pissing on his customers' territories. Like he'll do a whole arm, which is basically just like a line with a couple of little leaves coming off of it, and it's fucking gorgeous. But also, like, it's a sleeve without being a sleeve, because now nobody else can go near it because it'll ruin that tattoo.
mhm.
This one's a little more dense, but
I'm trying to find,
I love this black stuff he's doing right
yeah,
now. I fucking love this shit.
yeah,
It's so simple, but it's fucking cool as fuck, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Weird little
It's,
I miss
yeah,
those things. But that's like, like that. That's important. Like, and now, and I think he does this intentionally though. Is like he sort of, you can't tie into that, because the space around it is as important as the tattoo.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like the perfect example, but
his recent stuff. Oh, what the fuck, man!
oomph.
Look at that shit. What the
Yeah.
fuck? God damn it, Noon.
So much fun, and he's been at this like for decades now. It
Yeah,
seems
he's
too,
old.
right?
Yeah, he's old, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if there's one more round of Black is Black. Yeah, some more. Well, yeah, like how you're supposed to work into.
Right. So like that's part, like that conversation, is part of the piece. I put one up recently, and I forgot to show the whole thing, but it was like this sort of starburst on this fella's like pectoral area.
Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, I got it right here.
And I forgot that it was actually the companion piece to the Icarus tattoo we had done on his hip, and that distance between it is like part of the tattoo. Him falling away from that.
So like Icarus is down here.
But so like the Icarus is way off camera, like on the opposite hip.
Yeah.
But
you don't have the full picture?
It's way fucking deep in there. Like
I
don't even bother, because
no, okay.
But that's important to it. So now if he gets something in the middle of that, it'll totally fuck up the dynamic of that tattoo.
Yeah. Let's close out with a little tour of this. Looks like this is your art page.
Yeah. So I would say also, like, if people are trying to get their own style together, is to just experiment. Like that's all I do when I paint, is like 99% of the stuff that I make is just trash. Like it's art, sure, but it's not like I consider it art. I think you have to go into it if you're trying to learn how to do something exactly like that. Is not be 100%, not make good shit, like be okay with making trash. And that's sort of like what this page is. This is all this shit that I do that's mostly trash. Like these are things that'll get thrown away, burned. They're just experiments, and they're all different styles. But all of that, you know, that constant like trying to do something different. Yeah, this is the stuff I started burning these. Oh my God, Gabe, you don't know how much fun it is to burn these drawings.
Oh man,
It's so fun. Yeah.
No, like so now you're still doing this even as well, like you're focused on creativity. Is that, you know, as a veteran, or do you get to slack off, or is it like something that's consistent through your apprenticeship? And
so and I think it gets harder. It's very hard. It gets harder. I think especially once you pigeonhole yourself into your own style, is that you've started to sort of, you know, you've run that groove over and over and over, and to jump outside of it then becomes even harder. Like for me now, it's really hard to do stuff that I haven't done before. I have a default. I sit down to do a drawing for a tattoo, and it's the same drawing I've done 100 times, you know? So how do you break that? And that's where experimentation becomes a very important part in it. And giving yourself permission to like make ugly shit is very important.
Sure.
You know, because that's how you find like new vocabulary, new language, a new trick that you can throw into your work. You know, and just to like, I don't know, I try to do it every day, you know, like, well, I say I try to do it every day. I used to try to do it every day. Now I just do it every day. Oh God.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
God.
Which God? That might be a good question for the.
Oh God. Which God? I would go with like I don't know, probably Zeus or one of the pantheon.
Nice.
No, you're not.
Oh, we'll have to use this for the intro.
Oh my God, I hope I don't sing you. Oh no, I don't. Okay. I'm a good dancer too.
I am not. This is awesome, man. How long have you been playing?
Maybe like 15 minutes. Mostly just taught myself. This was when I wrote this for my wife. One of my first banjos.
Well, we're gonna listen to the end now.
Oh my God.
Awesome. There's so many artists. I mean, obviously that you know, that cross different mediums, and you know, the tattooing music one, you know, obviously happens a fair amount. Clearly, you know, making you know, a profession out of, you know, creating art on people for them is it's more difficult and way less forgiving, but you don't need to have 4 to 10 people, you know, touring for 6 months to, you know, eke out a living, you know, with very patient people back home. But awesome. Well, do you have, I guess we talked a little bit about the, you know, the styles and stuff, but maybe we could end on, you know, just diving in. Is there, you know, any sort of, I mean, again, there's never one thing, but for the artists that are, you know, they've been practicing, maybe they're stuck, I guess. And we talked about it a bit, but maybe is there any way to like wrap up your thoughts about artists honing in on their styles? And then maybe we could even make a good clip of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it's a lot of it is experimentation. Keep looking at other people's stuff. Meaning like not just tattoos, but music, art, books. Optimize your environment so that it's utilized for creativity. Like I don't have a TV in here. I try to not use my phone when I'm at my studio. Stay off of that stuff, and you'll find that you have to create, and then the more you create, the more you find your voice. You know, and just keep doing it and don't really listen to what other people say when they say like you're full of shit. It's your voice. Doesn't matter what they fucking tell you.
Awesome. One last question from the chat room. Hopefully it's an easy one, but what's your favorite medium? Do you have a favorite medium as outside of tattooing?
Oh, geez. I paint. I like to paint.
Oils?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, that's what I default to at some point, but yeah, mostly I use oil.
Are you? Is there any way that you can? Are you on your phone?
No, I'm on the computer.
On the computer. I was going to say if you could pick up. Obviously, you have a lot of.
Maybe this is some of the ones that are like older ones.
Well, maybe we'll leave people wanting a little bit more, and at some point, if you have it organized, we could do like a little studio tour or something.
Yeah, man, whatever.
That'd be pretty fun.
I'm always here for you, Gabe.
Awesome. Do you have any like regular paint nights or any sort of?
No. So one of the things I did do when I first opened this space was I was sort of using it as like an art space, but not so much in like a gallery thing, but like I had like an open mic a couple times.
Oh, cool.
Because it was one of the things I really liked in the 90s in New York was they had all these like open mic spaces like in the Lower East Side and the East Village with just weirdos getting to do weird shit on stage, and I was one of them and I loved it, but it's not here anymore. So I was kind of hoping to do that more, but then the world fucking went viral and ploop.
Yeah.
I do want to do going forward, I want to try to get back into that. I've actually reached out to a couple of artists that I like to offer them my space as sort of like to do whatever.
Awesome.
But yeah, I think I've been thinking about doing like, I don't want to like I'm not much of a teacher for painting, but it'd be fun to have people paint with me.
Yeah. Well, if you ever wanted to set aside 2 or 3 hours, we often will do like the people zooming in and whatnot. And I'll let you know when we have them coming up because we have them coming up all the time.
So. I paint in the nude though.
Oh, well, no, speaking of things going viral, there's the OnlyFans one for that, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, as always, thank you very much for hopping on, and it's always great to check out your work in depth, and the conversations are always good. It's worth fighting the tech on my end, and you made it more comfortable for me to be nervous. Awesome. Let's end one last time. It's what's the website address?
Oh Jesus, GMCoffey.com.
GM Coffey. I forgot your middle name for a second there, but or whatever the middle initial was. Anyways, well, thanks again, and I'll send you over the links, and we will catch up with everybody. Thanks to the folks in the chat room.